I want to thank the Empowering Women of Industry group to put on this event, and I will start my topic focusing on marketing. How to do B2B in social media. My name is Jennifer Cisneros. I am the VP of Marketing for Biomicrobics. Some of the examples that I'll share will be what I do for tactics and strategies into practice. I did appreciate the way that Sienna had described this particular session with Marketing Mastermind. Thank you so much for the compliment. I will teach you about SEO content and strategy, but more so with dealing with the social media networks. So let's go ahead and make some B2B goals. And if you are focused on the B2C, which is business to consumer goals, some of these tactics or strategies can be able to be implemented in those arenas as well. Here's what I'll focus on. Why and how to develop your social media strategy, where to start, how to create that marketing strategy across the networks, and then to implement them with each of your social media networks. These are the standard ones that to be able to use, but there are Pinterest and Read It and TikTok. There's other social media sites that are gaining a lot of traction. So I'd like to hear more about what you use to implement into your social media network as well. We'll go over the keyword strategy as well as maintenance and analytics. So develop your social media strategy. Why and how for business to business companies? Well, why is to develop that brand online. So when you are able to maximize your exposure, really online and viral campaigns are the way to do it. How? That's what we'll go through and be able to create that audience base that are your fans and followers and those that have already connected with your brand to be able to continue to be ambassadors for your brand. So, are you overwhelmed with social media? You're not alone. So that's the one thing that I hear about is how to be able to bring those moving parts into one cohesive strategy. Here's how to start. First is how to craft your message. First, engage the audience. How well do you know your target audience? What are their pain points and why should they care about your company, your mission, your products? What do you solve for them? And what consumer insights do you have for their customer base? Because you are a business to business company, that it's not about your customers, which are other businesses, but ultimately who your customers are servicing. And that's where B2C strategies come into play for possible dealers, distributors, and other consumer insights that they have to deal with. Empower your sales team. If they don't know the product or service of the company, then they're not going to be able to communicate that on a brand level or be able to engage in other social media activities. The sales team can then go out and find where conversations are going on with social media and be able to engage with that and always bring it back to the company. Provide a corporate profile and mission that is on each and every single site that you have. And be consistent, because if Twitter says one thing and Facebook says another, the brand doesn't have a cohesive mission statement and people get confused if you don't have cohesion with how you define the company in one social media network versus another. Customer experience, are you providing one? And website profiles help bring traffic back to your website. So if there's third-party publishers that can be able to do profiles for their advertisers, be sure that you're filling all of those out and providing that customer experience back to your website. So are you ready? Tell it, build it, run it, find it. This is how you implement all of your strategies. And once that audience is defined, you know their pain point, and be able to use all of those tactics to just do it. It's a great message. So now that we have clear goals and targets, here's how we will bring all of those items together into one cohesion marketing strategy. You'll focus on website, make sure that all of your products and information are there, and all of your management they all are on the same page about the mission, details, all of the information about the particular company that you want to develop that communication messaging. By target, by audience, by platform, all of that will then become part of the marketing strategy when everyone is on the same page, offline, online, and traffic building with the profiles, social media company descriptions, the optimization with search engines, things of that nature, all have cohesion with the message. So the keyword acronym strategy, hashtags. Marketers love hashtags. So anytime that you have a trade show, be sure to use the hashtag that was developed for trade shows. That's how you're going to get the most benefit of being part of the conversations that go on with everyone that is focused on that particular trade show. Same thing with keywords in the business. So I deal with water, wastewater, stormwater, gray water. Just have all of those hashtags that's dealing with the conversation of the message that I want to create. One of my favorite hashtags is ELI5. Explain it to me like I'm 5. And that's where a lot of great conversations of high-level technical information are all putting ELI5 for those that are putting technical terms into layman terms, and I get a lot of information that way. And I just think that's such a cool acronym. But TLDR, it's too long, didn't read, so we'll move on. So hashtags can be used for Instagram. The photos that you place on Instagram all should have hashtags to it. Otherwise, Instagram is just a plethora of photos and videos, and the only thing connecting them together is developing that audience. Currently, we have 1,930 followers for the Biomicrobics Instagram page, but we're also following those that are septic system providers and all of the industries that we have a relationship for, our vendors. So we actually end up following quite a bit more. And those distributors and dealers that are posting photos and videos about our products, we want to engage them into the conversation with our Instagram group. And so we're encouraging our distributors, dealers, and other vendors to be able to do just that and tag us. And it's very important to be able to tag us to build that conversation. Otherwise, it's difficult to know if someone's posting about you if you're not tagged or not applying the hashtags. We have our Facebook group as well. I find that you get the most loyal audience with Facebook. We have a demographic that is in the more than 30 to 60-year-olds, and so they tend to use Facebook quite a bit more than, let's say, Instagram or TikTok or any of the other up-and-coming social media sites. So we've got about over 2,000 Facebook followers, but again, it's the same content that we're pushing out with messages. We put them on the Facebook group and be able to have that shareability with reposts and things like that with our distributors. So I can see which of our distributors are more active than others, and developing an incentive program for those distributors, encourage them to post more about biomicrobics. So that's something that is a recent endeavor that we're doing, but we have awarded distributors that have a social media strategy that totally involves everything that we post as biomicrobics, and their fan base then engage with ours. So our Twitter post, we have over 19,000 Twitter followers, and all we do is talk about wastewater. So we've developed that that audience through social media, and this is how we're doing it, by posting the content that's on our website, the YouTube videos that we have, LinkedIn. We get a lot of business or technical information. We engage with a lot of groups that are on LinkedIn. So always find your tribe, find who is talking about in this case, environmental services with biomicrobics, and that want to learn more about water, wastewater, and engage with those groups of LinkedIn groups, Facebook groups, to be able to develop that following that are those that are in the conversation and that they want to learn more. So here, I did mention YouTube. We have over 60 videos that are uploaded, and we have over 966 subscribers. And again, we're just posting wastewater animations and videos that we create or that our distributors create and send to us, and that user-generated content then becomes part of our focus to be able to amplify and put into our social media networks. But this does not mean to use buzzwords. So the overkill of names with titles with "this will make your jaw drop," "everyone loves this video," those don't really connect with the brand, as well as something that says the 5 mistakes that you do for, insert your industry here. So people want to find helpful information and not so much about the sensationalism when it comes to developing content. The other one is to develop an email campaign, and then to always ask for the sale, basically. Connect, follow, fan, always invite people into your social media sites, and you can do that through a multitude of email campaigns, or just with your everyday conversation. Make sure that you have these on your signature block, and then people can fan and follow you straight from just a simple email contact that you have. And this one is one of the email campaigns that you could do through Constant Contact, but always be sure to have that invitation at the bottom. So product and landing pages are something that we've done quite a bit of. And it's not our product, but it's something that we get involved with, where we have a product that's a sodium hypochlorous generator. So it makes as much disinfectant needed for a multitude of disinfection applications. But it does require somebody to have a sprayer. So here are 3 different ads with different target audiences, and that they go to different landing pages. So one goes to the healthcare industry, another is focused on providing services, and then one focuses on the interiors of residential office buildings. And what this says to me is what these audience members are focused on when it comes to wanting to buy a product like this, but ultimately they'll need to have a sodium hypochlorous generator that provides the solution that goes inside of these backpacks and sprayers for disinfection. And so that's how we're involved with this, is that we're actually that liquid that's inside the machine. Otherwise, the machine is just a fancy backpack. But we have a connection with it, and this is the B2C ads that ultimately come from the B2B of, we provided these 3 companies with a sodium hypochlorous machine. They then fill up their backpacks with the solution, and then they offer these individual services to the individual industries, to the individual target audiences. So to sum up, we want to focus on the strategies of identify your audience members, establish your goals of what you want to accomplish with each of your messaging to your individual target audiences, and develop that, how you're going to bring those messages to life with your social media following that you've developed. Track with proper landing pages, or being able to develop content that are targeted for those audience members, but don't be too broad or too sensational with your messaging. And really just have fun and develop a sense of personality for your company. So in just a few years, social media has transformed how we've communicated with our audience, but it's really become a marketing force for any company, even in the B2B realm, that they didn't realize before. So the tips and methods I've shared, I've been implementing myself, and that's how we've developed our target audience. The way to really maintain your audience members is to keep fanning and following those in the industry that are in the communication. And if they're not fanning and following you back, then unfollow them at a future date, and keep cleaning up your audience, your followers, to those that are following you. And again, have fun with it. So I want to invite you to engage in conversations with the Whova app. That you'll find my profile on list of attendees with Jennifer Cisneros, and be able to tell me what you think, and let me know of any other comments that you have with B2B and social media, where you've seen these tactics work, or if you have other suggestions, and be able to communicate those, and others can be able to be in on the conversation. But we can all do that through the Whova app with the Empowering Women in Industry.